Today, we're diving into some incredibly honest advice from a creator looking back on his teenage years. He's pinpointed 6 major mistakes that he says tons of young people are making right now. So let's see what we can learn from his experience to maybe get a little bit ahead of the game. And he kicks things off with this really powerful statement, which translates to, "You are the main hero of this video." It's the perfect way to start, right? He's making it clear that he's not just telling his own story, he's talking directly to you. This whole thing is about your choices, your time, and your future. So what's the big idea here? Well, the speaker is sharing his personal regrets, not to get stuck in the past, but to hand you a roadmap so you can avoid the same potholes. We're going to break down these 6 mistakes to help you navigate your own teenage years just a little bit better.
He's kind of grouped his 6 regrets into 3 big themes. The first one is all about the one thing you can never, ever get back, your time. This covers what he calls his first and his 6 mistakes, and they both have to do with how you manage or, fail to manage your day.
So, the very first regret is something that sounds so simple, but it's a huge deal: waking up late. He argues that if your day kicks off at 10 a.m., you're already behind. You're basically playing catch-up from the moment you open your eyes, with 0 time for yourself before the world starts making demands. And this is where it gets really interesting when you see it side by side. Just look at that difference. A 10 a.m. start puts you on the defensive, just reacting to whatever the day throws at you. But a 6 a.m. start, that gives you proactive time. Time to work on a skill, get a workout in, or study, all before most people have even had their coffee.
And boom, here's the payoff. It's not magic, it's just math. Shifting your wake-up time from 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. literally gives you 4 extra hours every single day. Suddenly, that old excuse of, "I don't have time," just kind of evaporates. You've literally created the time you said you didn't have.
Okay, so you've created this extra time. But that leads right into the next mistake he talks about, number 6, just plain bad time management. It's not enough to just have the time. If you've got 13 or 14 hours in your day, do you actually have a plan for them, or do you just let the day happen to you? Think about it. As a teenager, you are juggling all of this stuff, right? School, your personal goals, learning new things, staying fit, family, friends, it's a lot. Without a real plan, something's going to get dropped. The idea is to decide beforehand where you're going to put your energy so you can keep everything in balance and actually make progress. All right, let's pivot to the second major theme, preparing for the future. This is all about regrets that can really affect your future opportunities and even your finances. We're talking about mistakes number 3 and 4 here. Mistake number 3 is a big one, not actively learning a skill that can actually help you in the real world. It's so easy to just get stuck in the daily grind, school, homework, hang out, sleep, repeat. But he really regrets not using those extra hours to learn something practical that could have given him a major head start.
And you can really hear the "what if" in his voice here. This quote translates to, "If only I had started earlier, it would have been so much better for me." It's that classic feeling, isn't it? He did eventually start, but he just wishes he'd begun sooner. This is his way of telling you the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now.
And that brings us to the flip side of the coin, how you can waste that precious time. For him, the big time sink was gaming. Now, he's not saying gaming is evil or anything. His point is that pouring hundreds of hours into something with insane competition was a bad bet for his future, especially when that time could have gone into a skill with a much better chance of success.
This table just lays it all out, doesn't it? Gaming gives you a huge, immediate rush, but for pretty much everyone, the long-term value is tiny. Learning a real skill, it might be a slower burn, a little less exciting at first, but the long-term payoff is massive. It's that classic battle between what feels good right now and what's actually good for you down the road. Okay, for our last big theme, we're shifting gears. We're moving away from schedules and skills to something just as complicated, if not more so: people. These last 2 mistakes, numbers 2 and 5, are all about navigating the tricky world of friends and family. He talks about a lesson that, honestly, a lot of us learn the hard way. Not every friend is really a friend. His big mistake here was treating everyone in his circle with the same amount of trust. He was an open book with everybody, and it led to him getting burned because he didn't have any boundaries.
And his advice on how to fix this is actually pretty simple to visualize. Think of it like this. You have this tiny inner circle, maybe 1 or 2 people that you trust with absolutely everything. And then there's everyone else. They can still be your friends, of course, but you just have different rules, different boundaries for them. It's all about being smart about who you let get close. All right, now we get to what he calls his most controversial piece of advice, and this one's aimed specifically at older teens, like 15 and up. He says a huge mistake is misunderstanding what your parents' role is supposed to be. This is a tough one, so let's really unpack what he means.
He puts it really bluntly with this line, which says, family can never be friends. Now, before you have a knee-jerk reaction to that, let's look at what he really means by this, because it's not about love or respect.
So let's be super clear. This is not about disrespecting your parents, not at all. It's about understanding their role. A parent's number one instinct is to protect you, to say, don't worry, we've got you, which is amazing. But for an older teen trying to get ready for the real world, that protection can sometimes turn into a crutch. It can stop you from learning to stand on your own 2 feet. His point is, love them, respect them as family, but you need to learn how to survive out there on your own.
Whew, okay, that was a lot. So let's do a super quick, rapid-fire rundown of all 6 mistakes we've just talked about, just to lock them all in.
So you've got 1. Waking up late. 2. Having no boundaries with your friends. 3. Not learning a real, practical skill. 4. Pouring time into low-value stuff like too much gaming. 5. Misunderstanding your parents' role as you get older. And 6. Just overall bad time management. Seeing them all together really brings it home, doesn't it?
Okay, when you see them all listed out like that, it can feel a little heavy, I get it. But the final message here isn't about regret. It's about opportunity. It's not about what you've been doing wrong. It's about what you do next.
And this is really the whole point. He's sharing his past so you can own your future. Yeah, it's always better to start late than never, but why wait? You have the chance, right now, to start making choices that will build a better future, starting today.
And that leaves us with one final, very important question. His teenage years are over. They're in the past. But yours, they're happening right now. So the question for you is, what are you going to do with them?